Yeah, one spring popped off here. And I think the spring goes. So the spring here popped loose, and I need to get it. So I don't know, the spring is on this piece back here, and it has to go through this, kind of attached to that little spacer right there, so that might be a little tricky to get that. May have to come in. Huh. That is interesting. Jet flying over. Again, it's a really, really nice day. Today, 30 degrees cooler than it's been. 30 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. There we go. So I open up the garage and get it cool off in here. Motor spinning. This. There we go. All right. So this to start. It's coming over. It's dropping. Hit the play. Goes to the end of the record. And it picks up. And it returns. And it drops. And it drops. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so what I'm going to do now that I've got this mostly functioning, again, I'm waiting for cartridges to come in. I ordered some carts online, and it's been just a, I don't know. One of the seller I thought was okay, said they were based in the States. They were actually based overseas, and basically the cartridges are, I'm going to leave this off. The cartridges are coming from China, I think, which not a problem with that. You know, nothing wrong with that. But the issue is I ordered them on the 11th. Today's the 25th, and the post office still doesn't have them. So if they're not here by the 28th, which is 4 days from now, which they won't be, because they have to make it through customs and the port in Los Angeles, if they even show up. And this, when I looked at the seller's feedback, they don't have stellar feedback, so I'm not holding out much hope that I'll actually get these. So, to make a long story short, I had to order some more, and I'm waiting for them to come from the other side of the country. But I have a tracking number on those, but I'm paying a little bit more. But you know, because 45 of these Goodwill Find turntables, I'm gonna need a lot of cartridges most likely. So I've already went through maybe half a dozen, and I still have more than, how many do I have? Maybe 25 turntables. I haven't filmed all of them because I've had several duplicate copies or duplicate turntables. So like if I'm doing a Technics SLB 202, well, if I have 3 of them, I'm only going to do one, unless there's something special, which there hasn't been. A lot of the Techniques were, other than maybe RCA cables, and there's one I had to really go through to fix. I mean, those are great. They're just great turntables. Again, in other videos, they're kind of like the Toyota Camry of turntables, right? Not the sexiest, not some of their lower end models, but they just work. They just work. They're easy to service. So, been pretty pleased with the turntables that came in. So anyway, I'm going to just continue cleaning this, try to cut through some of this gunk and grease, and Then we'll take a look at the speed. Idler's good. Yeah, idler's still soft. Not as soft as I'd like it to be, but it's still soft. So anyway, let me keep cleaning this up. Alright, so initial clean. Again, I have to go back and remove lint and do all that kind of stuff. I do want to hit this with just a little bit of oil. Oh, you know what I should do? I should... Yeah. I'm hitting that little bearing plate with some oil. I should probably remove that. And I may do that. If I do it, or when I do it, I'll catch it. Put it on camera. But right now, I just want to see what the speed's like before I do any spindle service to it. I just don't need that. See if I can find the phone. Alright, so pitch control is in the middle. Speed is set to 33. Let's start it up. See what the speed looks like. Yeah, let's see. There we go. Right. So what I'm going to do next is gosh, I don't remember on this how to get to that plate. I think I have to remove it from the bottom, but I don't quite remember. I haven't worked on a 1019 since last year. I'll have to figure that out. But what I want to do is I also want to take a look at this motor. The motor seems to be fine. And again, I don't remember exactly on this one. Yeah, I don't remember. Again, I'm not a dual expert. But I think I need to remove the 3 screws. Gosh, I don't remember. The motor feels okay. I'd like to lube the bearing plate on the back. And I don't see any oil spots up here, but I can at least oil top of this. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the plate that the platter's sitting on, because you can just see this, it just spins really freely. So I don't think that's the speed issue. I know I do a lot of verbal processing and thinking out loud on these videos. So let me put the bolts back in here. I know I've torn one of these apart before, but it's been, gosh, probably it's been several years. I know there for a while I had a bunch of dual turntables. Well, it's at least been a year. So I'm going to just leave this for now. And then I want to work on that, the bearings, because I know that they're going to be all caked in grease. Okay. So again, this I'm not worried about. It's that down there I'm worried about. And I think those two screws these two bolts, I should say. Hold that bracket in position. And gosh, how do I get that out of there? I don't remember. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to remove the spindle, and I've got to get to a plate down there with the bearing pack, and to do that it looks like I need to almost lost that C-clamp. So I need to remove this. There we go. And there's a spring. So that goes like that. And this comes off. Like so. And that should come off of here. Like so. So I'm talking about, see that plate? There are bearings, you can see all the grease, there are bearings down there. So I believe if I turn up two of these tabs, I can pull that plate out. And I can re-lube. That bearing pack. There we go. Dang, I have to do all three. Then I might be able to get away with not doing one. Alright, so two washers on top, and there are the bearings. There's the bearings. Let me clean these off. They are definitely sticky. And I ran out of paper towels. So I'm gonna grab some paper towels, some alcohol, and clean this up. All right. Spring came off of this piece here. I'll need to, I think I see where it went though. So I'm going to use a little bit of this higher viscosity oil for the bearings. But again, after watching that video, it's like, huh, no, he doesn't use grease. It makes sense that you wouldn't want to use grease. Grease likes to attract dirt. Grease likes to turn into glue over time, especially the dual, whatever they used on these. And I've seen people reference what the specific, product was, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, look at that! That whole thing, that whole little assembly moved. Huh. Interesting. All right, so this will go back down like so. And that pack fell out. Looks like I didn't have to really disassemble this at all. Oh well. Alright, so that will go like so. And this was attached here, I believe. Because there's a big glob of grease there. That was there. I may have to look at the video and figure out what goes to what over here. That was on there. Yeah, I have to look at the schematic and figure out how this goes back on there. I don't think it goes that way. It's got to go this way. Like so. And that. I'll have to go back and look, see how that was put together. It looks like I was close. I had this little piece here was out of position. I think it's kind of hard to go back and look at a little tiny screen. Now, gotta get this, feed it through here. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. Well, that's misaligned. It's got to come up. That sits like that. So what's happening is I had a hard time pulling this out, having a hard time getting it back in there. There we go. Nope. I don't know what the issue is here. So, problem is, That's how it was sitting in there. And it can't go this way. Oh no, it can't go that way. Oh, I was putting it in backwards. Again, that screen is so hard to tell. There we go. Looked like it was going the other way. So that's how that works. Sorry, Dual folks, you're yelling at me for doing it wrong. It's starting to get a little warm in here. Oh, the breeze feels good. Okay. There we go. And now I can put these two screws back in. I'm just going to hand tighten these for now. Go back and look to see how the speed is on this. Alright. Oops. Alright. Let's check this out now. Come on. All right. Oh, what did I get wrong? Hear the motor spinning. Yeah, motor's running good. Has nothing to do with oh, it's set to 78. Well, still it should have kicked on. I'm gonna put 33. Well, if the service was easy, it wouldn't be a dual turntable. That's for sure. Alright. There we go. Alright, so it's going through the return process. And it's coming back. Let's see how this works. Speed's much better because the pitch control is closer to being in the center now than it was. Alright. This would probably benefit from a new idler. Get that, turn it. Stop. Alright. I don't like how that mechanism doesn't seem to want to pick up at the end of the record though. Shut off. Okay. Let's try that again. Start. Turn up just a little bit. Beginning of the record. I want to see what the speed does. Yeah, I need to adjust speed on it. And then it's not picking up at the end of the record anymore. So got something out of alignment underneath. All right. So speed adjustment on this. There are some screws on the side of this spindle shaft here, and you can raise this up and down. So, teeny tiny screws, loosen them. Oh, looks like there's just one. Oh, there's one. So loosen that screw, and then, in theory, just slide that up a little tiny bit. It is frozen on there though, it's not moving. Is there another one? I thought there were two. No, doesn't look like there are two. Yeah, looks like that motor might have to come out after all. Because I need to move that spindle up just a little bit. And I think the only way I can do it is to pull that motor up and get a couple spoons under there so I can lift it up. Yeah, that's what I have to do. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. And then I gotta look at this auto return mechanism too. These dual turntables.